As a nation, we want to provide for those that are in need. As a family, we need to provide for those that are in need. But sometimes there comes an occasion in which we become an enabler and damage the people, the very people we are trying to help. I'm going to read some statistics to you from other countries and from the United States. This is on suicide rates by the World Life Expectancy Organization. The suicide rates are per 100,000. In South Korea, which is not the highest, by the way, there's some countries as high as 75. But in South Korea, 21 people commit suicide out of 100,000. That's supposedly a free country. The United States, 14.5 people commit suicide. Canada, 10 out of 100,000. North Korea, a dictatorship, has 8. Mexico and Israel, 5 out of 100,000. And Egypt, 3 out of 100,000, and they're not the lowest on the list. Some of the poorer countries are even with less suicides than them. What makes it that the United States suicide rate is higher by almost 2 of South Korea? Of North Korea. Why is it that Mexico and Israel, we're 3 times higher a rate of suicide? And yet people are coming into our country and where the suicide rate is much higher. In Egypt, it's 5 times higher. What is the cause of such a thing like this? When you look at the list, it's kind of trying to understand what is going on. But seems to be no set pattern other than this. The poorer countries are often have a less suicide rate. One thing I do see in looking at the numbers is family seems to be important. Not a village, but families. In fact, that's why they say the suicide rate in South Korea is so high, is because traditionally they took care of their parents. But now they leave their parents to just decay, and therefore the suicide rate is so high. Perhaps in North Korea, their parents are still taken care of. So the family seems to be of utmost importance. Perhaps I'm not right, but it appears that way. But when you look at a nation and at a family, there are times when you know that you have given so much to an individual that you have enabled them to become a problem to society. That could be the government or the people that they're living with. We have seen recent shootings, and it always comes down to this, not the gun they're carrying. It comes down to this: the father they don't have, the family they don't have, or the family that's enabling them. There comes a point where sometimes you gotta kick out the individual who is sucking off the system to the point that they can do whatever they want to do. And this is what we see in Ezekiel 2:21, verse 3. God says to his son Israel, I am against thee and will draw forth my sword out of my sheath, and I will cut off thee the righteous and the wicked. Both the righteous and the wicked. Why would he cut off the righteous? The people that are doing right. Perhaps it's because they are not giving the word out that they need to give out. They're enabling and causing a greater problem. Perhaps in Romans 10:14 it'll give you a clue. How then shall I call on him they have not believed? And how shall they believe on him whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear if not one came to preach to them? If you're a Christian looking in on this, we need to speak up on the word of God, either in our churches or people who are enabling, even if we're not giving out the gospel to them, to tell them, you know what, you're taking this to the point where you are enabling this person to do more harm than good. And then the other is to tell them about Jesus Christ and the salvation. If you're looking in and you do not know Jesus, you can check the description of this video. It'll tell you how you can come to a saving knowledge of him. Do not allow people to be destroyed by sucking off of another organism. Allow them to be freed to go and to make choices. Not all will make the right choice, but some will. Pray for them and cut them off. Until next time, may Jesus increase as we decrease.